Nityanandaya Gurave Shesha Samsara Harine Bhaktakaye Kadehaya Namaste Chitsaratmane Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishvapanchaya Shantaya Nirambaya Tejase Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavinam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vishvare Om Shanti 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 Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Good morning and welcome. A heartfelt welcome to all of you who are present here this morning. I've been excited for a few days to speak, but now I'm nervous. I had an outfit I had chosen that I thought I would wear today. And then as I opened my closet, I felt like, okay, I would like to channel Baba. So these are intensive outfits that I have. I wear only for the meditation intensive. And then I thought, okay, I'll go find a vest, because Baba Muktananda wore a vest. So when I pulled that outfit out, the rest is history anyway. So we've had a wonderful, I don't know how many days or weeks or months, it seems like or feels like, right, Devyani? And here we are on this Sunday morning. And I think Dana is the 6th, right? Because Dana yesterday told me it was the 7th yesterday. I said, no, it's the 5th. He said, no. I said, I think, Dana, I'm right. So, it's good. I said, anyway, so we'll cover a few topics. I've given myself 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. That's my own time limit. And I found out that the first airport run is at 2 p.m. So the cook is here too. He said partially the lunch is ready and the rest will be ready. So not to worry, Archana, you can relax. Because normally she's the first one to the plate I've seen. So all of you who run, just relax. It's all going to be okay. The topic really, as I wrote here on Saturday, is Sadhana. And I asked Devyani if, you want to help me? Come. Put her to work. Because I have too much going on. So,
Yesterday I had a day off,
Yesterday she had partially a day off. Not really. She had to write Om Shri and all that, what you did. Is that too tall? It's okay, right? So we begin by offering gratitude to Devyani for her continued presence here at Shanti Mandir, Walden. 2009 spring, she decided, this is it, I'm going to take charge. So I said, great, somebody's going to take charge. So she's been here, and there's a whole crew of people, and I was trying to think of all the names. I said, no, I'm not going to mention any names, because then I'll get in trouble that you missed me. So you know who you are, and you know who they are. Okay, and if you don't know, figure it out or find out. Shri and Swastik. I need a blue. Is this whiteboard? Yeah, it is. Madhu said he got new ones. Oh, I can see that you can still hear me. So this I drew last week, and for all the Jewish people here, this is Hindu. It's not Jewish, okay? It's not the anti-Jewish. It's swastik. You can go online, find out all about it. So that's Shri, which is auspiciousness. This is Om, sound of Brahman, sound of creation. This is swastik. Swasti is meaning well, wellness, meaning good, meaning auspiciousness. So this is the traditional sign, and Hitler's is a little turned around and etc., etc., etc. The Buddha said never to speak these names, so we won't speak those names. Divya, your mother can hear me? She can't hear me. She can, because yesterday she told me I was training to hear me. She said I'm a very good man, so, and she said she met Baba and he was a very good man too. So our topic today is sadhana, which according to Baba was self-effort and grace. So as Devyani, that is, if we could call self-effort Shakti, we could call grace Shiva. She never gave me an answer, but I took it in Sanskrit. They said maunasya sukriti lakshanam. Silence means accepted. So, and I brought a picture too that we had down in the course of Shiva Shakti. For everyone, it's not about man and woman or masculine and feminine. It's about the energy, the polarity that dwells within each and every one of us. And somebody was talking to me yesterday, and I said, really what I like is men who are powerful, but soft, loving, kind, etc., etc. I don't want to say too much. And same with women who are feminine or feminine, and who are yet strong, who are beautiful and strong. And nature sends us that way, and then we do the strangest of things, and we call it body art. We won't discuss that. So anyway, so basically all I want to say is, for the last 40 plus years since Baba Muktananda left his body, and then the first 20 years with him, been on this path, and possibly as we'll get to the thought of karma, something carried over from the past. And here we are today. So these are just loud ruminations. And if you like it, accept it. If you think that's his problem, that's okay. I like my problems, and I'm happy with it. I have 6 pages of notes created in the last 4 or 5 days as we sat here through Navaratra. I hope to get them all out in the time period allotted to myself. And I want that, as I said yesterday, don't take me lightly, because this is a lot that life has given, allotted, served, and as we have swum through all of this, and this is what's there. This is what sounds true, what sounds real. And of course, all of us do that, I won't say. But as I've said over the last few years, I have no axe to grind. The way he told me in 2004 or 5, don't speak with a zing. So I thought, okay, I've been good with that too. Don't. Dipanju, ye upar wala light band kar de, andar se. So hopefully I'm better at myself, at being myself, finding myself, knowing myself, expressing myself. And I want that each one of us, as we go through sadhana, sadhyati iti sadhana, that which makes it possible is sadhana. That which, putting forth effort, the grace, all of it makes it just amazing. And so, try to understand in as deep a place as you can go within yourself. Ruminate, ponder, contemplate, ask, where do I want to go? And what do I want to be? So as Mary says, listen to the instructions. Not that I think these are instructions, these are just, as I said, loud ruminations, contemplations. Stay focused. And I would tell, as I've told many times over the years, Shraddha is necessary. It is no doubt, no question, no wondering. That's what I tried to share yesterday. When I said when Baba Nityananda on the 24th of April 1978 told me, this is where you go. Okay, this is where we go. You don't try to then bring up your doubts and your questions and your wonderings and your blah, 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 nonsense as I call it. You are surrendered to a higher power, to a Shakti, to a grace, and you trust that. And when you trust that, once you trust that, you just flow with it. So, we sing the evening Arati every day, and as we sang it here, there's a prayer in there which I thought will lead us to where I want to go. Maganete ahe eka tuja bhashi deshila tari pahi Shri Guru Natha sarvada vache vado Nityananda nama sarva bhuti maitriyani mudita ya jagi ghado anavarata vishwa bandhutva prema chitta purna sthirata muktananda mani Shri Guru Natha nasha hode ya jagaji vishavata. I think it's a prayer by Naneshwar which Baba has converted a little bit into his own. He says, O Guru, I ask you one thing. See if it is possible for you to give it. That this tongue always repeats the name of the Guru, and there's just love, friendliness, softness towards everyone. May this whole world have the love of oneness, which is what this circle of ours up here is. And the mind is still, the mind is at peace. Muktananda says, O Lord Guru, may the poison that is there in this world dissolve, may it go away. So we sing this every day, evening Arati. And in February when I was in Ganeshpuri, there was a young speaker who was speaking from Tukaram and Dhaneshwar, and he gave something that stayed with me. He said, good karma is like collecting sesame seeds. Good karma is like collecting sesame seeds. I don't have it, I think, on my table here. So I'm sure all of you have seen sesame seeds. If you haven't, then look at one. Tukaram says that Tila itke bandhuni ghar. That divine lives within this human body. And how big is that divine in this body? Also like a sesame seed. So what he wanted to say is, it's so easy to do wrong. And the wrong builds up fast. The negative builds up fast. Positive is a lot of effort. It's a lot of work. So when I tell you that here I am almost 62 years later, still excited, still nervous, still wondering what is going to unfold or how can it unfold. You can just put him here by Govind. And it will unfold. But that trust, that faith, that understanding has to get established in you. So I just wrote a few things. I think, is it on? It's on here, right? I had an assistant, Mr. Madhu. So I think you can see it, hopefully. And hopefully what I have written, what he's written, well, maybe I'll just use his. Because I made changes to my notes after I sent it to him. So I'll turn my board so I can see. No, that's good. So, huh? the mic stand. Can you hold that for me? Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Carpenter. He's got get up. I said, I think maybe I added it. Let's wake up. As the scriptures tell us, wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Wake up from the sleep of not knowing. So start moving. If you stand there, which we'll get to this in a little bit, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to get somewhere. To get somewhere, you have to get moving. So stop procrastination. Stop procrastinating. Let me think about it. Let me see. What does Baba want me to do? Baba is not connecting right now. It's out of range. It's like the mobile, And people do this. Baba is talking to you. He's right in front of you. He's right in some form in front of you. Maybe it's a policeman. Maybe it's the whoever, And you say, no, you're a policeman. Get out of I want Baba. I want my Baba. Well, he's your Baba in that moment. If he's saying, see the form, see the divine in everyone, why don't you see the divine in him at that moment? So we waste the time, in this waiting for Baba. I'm waiting for Baba. I'm waiting for a sign. I'm waiting. When? Well, it will never come because you'll keep waiting. The whole life will go. I'll tell a very quick story. It's not in my plan. A man, there's a flood, drowning, and he said, God, help me. A boat comes by. He says, nah, I'm waiting. And then the water keeps rising, something else comes by. He says, nah, I'm waiting. And the water keeps rising. He climbs up to the top of his house. A helicopter comes. He says, no, I'm waiting. Waiting for what? The boat came, the second thing came, the helicopter came. What are you waiting for? And that's many of us on the spiritual path doing this. Just procrastination, wasting time, getting nowhere, and complaining, my guru don't do anything for me. So don't waste. Become proactive. You have that, what is self-effort? Self-effort means put forth effort. And it's going to bear fruit. If you don't put forth effort, you're not going to get anywhere. Don't complain that I have no grace in my grace is there. The sun is still there above the clouds. Don't think grace is not there. Grace is there. I just need to connect to it. Turn the airplane mode off. Charge the whatever device. Get going. And so we talked earlier about the deer frozen in the headlights, right? A deer in headlights. Many of them do that. What? Did you say something? Me? Well, who else is standing in front of me? I don't see anybody else. Oh, I didn't realize you were talking to me. Well, when there's just me and you, I'm not talking, I don't talk to the air. I have not lost it that much yet. That I talk to a person. Yes, when I'm in the forest, I sing, I do things, I do funny things, I talk to myself. But when somebody's in front of me, I try to act normal. Whatever that is. Don't be anxious. Did you think I should, did you want, well, excuse me. And it's like, when we set up a hall like this, it's like, did you mean that all the chairs should come into the hall? Or, well, if you've been to satsang before, you would know this, yes. All this is so simple, and I realize that so many of us, sometimes I like non-spiritual people because they're just practical, normal. They don't, this problem doesn't come into their life. Because they are thinking, I'm responsible for myself, I got to do it myself. As soon as we become spiritual, we think, oh, grace. Waiting for grace, waiting for grace, and waiting for grace, one day you die. Boom. Where was I? Don't be apprehensive. You'll never get anywhere. You got to get. So don't be anxious, don't be apprehensive. And just read the Yoga Vasishtha. It says break or change the conditioning. There's a conditioning you have created. Yes, I was thinking to myself this morning, who am I? Well, there is a character, there is a person that's been there. Mischievous, naughty, silly, funny. His daughter always tells me, you're funny, Baba is funny. Well, I try to be. I want to be funny, but I want to be funny for myself, for my own upliftment, for joy, and not be like this, I'm spiritual. And some people do that. And I think Baba Muktananda was very funny. Watch his videos. He had a great sense of humor. And I think all great sages have that. You just have to have the ability, and it's not stand-up comedy. Very different. Humor with depth, and we talked about that I think a week or 2 weeks ago. Kavya Shastra Vinodina Kalu Gacchati Dimdam. Vyasanena Chamulkaya Kalayena Nidvayena Va. Have fun, enjoy, but with poetry, with spiritual discussions. That's where the joy should come from. Not from fighting, not from sleep, not from, drugs and all of these things that we see in our society today. And why? Because we have taken this, this simple joy. A new word I hear is brain fog. I don't quite understand that. Somebody says it has to do with food. I think it has to do with some of these things. Procrastination, anxious, apprehensive. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do something. I don't want to. And then also when you start doing, know your limits. You have to know how much you can do, how much you should do, how much needs to be done. Don't overstep. And they say, And you know that within yourself. I keep telling this. Don't tell me, I just didn't know. Of course you know. Don't try to I'm listening to Baba. I'm listening to Baba. Oops, sorry, I didn't see you there because I was listening to Baba. Well, Baba told you there is somebody sitting there. But then you didn't listen to Baba. I'm sorry. Being a little child and growing up in all this, we heard all these senior or super senior people saying all these things. And I have told myself, don't go there. Don't go there. I have full faith. I have full shraddha. There is no question. I believe in what I'm saying. I believe in what I do. There's no, people ask me sometimes, does Baba come to you? I said, he's too busy. But then, think what I just said. Just thinking that I want to channel him, my knees are still shaking, So, does Baba come to you? Yes, every moment. I don't feel, and when I think of Baba, I don't think Baba is that man, that person, that individual. It's this effort and grace. Present, it's present, ever present in life. There. There's no doubt. So help where you can, do what you can. Don't think that somebody else will do it. You are there, you are in that moment, you are present. Go for it. The divine has put you there for a purpose. And the other thing also I'd like to tell people is, when I watch, when you're affectionate, when you're loving, do it appropriately. And what is the appropriateness? I'm not going to get into that now because I don't have time. But because I watched over the week, the 10 days, watching different things going on, and I'll be like, oh God, and it's like it's all in the name of, I'm feeling love. Oh God, have a glass of water, please. It's too much love, So it's there. I think that's my head. So it's like we'll have a course on that, Larry. Okay, so. For that, I have to teach them. So, as we chanted the Devi chants, we had Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu and many things. And then there was Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samsita and Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samsita. One had a K and Shanti and one had no K and Shanti. So, Compassion is Shanti. Now, compassion also, when you get into Sanskrit, there's Daya, there's Karuna, there's all these words. And I think a couple of years ago I spoke about that and how they're all different. Compassion is not one in English, possibly, but Sanskrit tries to take you to understand, to do the right thing at the right time, at the right place. So these are just some side thoughts, side dishes. So they just came up as I was writing and thinking and all of that. So we'll come to our one topic, which is Ayam nijaha paroveti gananam laguchetasam udahacharitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. I'm sure all of you have seen this here and there. But in the whole, one of the Upanishads, I think it's Maha Upanishad, it says, this is mine, that is his, this is petty-minded. This is mine, that is his, that is petty-minded. When you become noble-hearted, the entire world is your family. The entire world is a family. And then when I looked it up, there's a paper by somebody, and I printed it and brought it out just to make you realize that there are people who do study, and the point is so small that I would need magnifying glasses to read. And I think this, I don't know, I'm not going to bother. So it's like, gotta keep moving. So I don't want to be apprehensive, I don't want to be anxious, I don't want to be frozen in terror, I want to be proactive, I don't want to waste time. Keep moving. Like my train. So in our system, in the Indian system, this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is something that's taught. It's of course misunderstood, I would say, but it is taught. The whole world is one family. And it's said that it's engraved in the entrance hall of the Parliament of India. So it promotes a global perspective, prioritizing harmony, collective well-being, the underlying philosophy of oneness, interconnectedness, promoting a sense of universal kinship among all living beings and the natural world. So as we came down, Kelly was visiting us from California, said, oh, this tree is still here. The tree, I'm sure all of you know. We have the tree here at Shanti Mandir. It's been there since we bought the property. And many people over the years have told them, when you cut it down, it's in the way, it's going to fall down. It's still standing. It survived a thunderstorm. And in the recent storm, I think some months ago, I don't know, it lost a limb. But it's still standing. Then I told Kelly, for those of you who take interest in nature, there are two forestry books, one by a German forester, Trees Talking to Trees, and the one by a Canadian lady forester. Similar concept, trees talking to trees. So if you imagine this whole thing, Madhu was supposed to make it small and big, but what he found was this. So this is drawn by him, and this is from Michael Arts or whatever. So it's all in different colors, so I said, that's good, at least you can see the different colors. There's black, there's white, there's Asian, there's Caucasian, there's blah, 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 all of the various ethnic and Asian and whatever groups. But see, they're all connected. Gita talks about this, Mai Sutra Ganamani Eva, that I am the thread, meaning that divine consciousness is the thread through all of this. So the Gita always says, Sarvarambha Parityagi. Just give up the concept that I am going to do something new, I'm going to do something different. So when somebody writes to me, here's what I did. It's been done, is being done, and will be done. I simply am in this connectedness. I'm simply staying connected. And so, you could look up Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and you'll find a lot, and in the article it says the relevance of this concept is even more in contemporary times. It's emphasizing its potential to foster compassion, empathy, environmental ethics, and social harmony in our globalized world. It's a world that's not really different anywhere you go. I mean, yes, each country has its own beauty, has its own specialities, and its own things. But as a human, we are all the same. No matter how we look, no matter what we wear, no matter what we speak, a person is a person. Male, female, animal, whatever you want to call it. And that is the oneness, the sage, that is the understanding the sage wants us to get to. So there was a Maharashtrian saint named Tukroji Maharaj. And actually, his remembrance came to me yesterday. But the train came to me, I don't know why, some days ago. Because I thought, there is an engine, there are coaches, and there is the, I don't know what that is. Huh? Caboose. What is caboose? Huh? Okay. End of the train. We in the Indian train, we have a guard. He has a red flag, a green flag, and it's amazing when you begin to understand. You know, there's the guy, the station master standing on the station. He just has the green flag up and the red flag down. And there's, of course, a signaling system. And then, because we have some devotees from Baba's time who've been part of the railway system in India, and to then talk to them and to understand, to realize there are all these simple signs that the driver understands, the station master understands, the track man understands, the guard understands, and the train just goes. And we are just simply sitting there. And what I really wanted to do was, well, he didn't get me the small things. Anyway, I had told him to get me a coil, a quarter pin, for those of you who know what that is, and to show that all of these things have value. Because a train is not just this. If you ever looked underneath, and even inside the coach, there is so much. And no, even a quarter pin cannot think to itself that I am nothing, I have no value. No, a quarter pin has value too. It's a small little thing. But it holds, as Jim would know in his machine work, that quarter pin is so important. Missing, boom, you could have a big accident. So what I wanted to say is, in this entire train of hours of life, none of us can think to ourselves, what am I to do? Well, you have a role. You have something that has been granted to you. Find out what that is. Find out your purpose. Don't just think, I'll just wait, you know. I'll procrastinate. A young man was brought to Baba Muktananda by his mother. This was probably in 80, 81. The mother said, he won't look for the job. The Baba said, why? He said, well, because if God wants me, he'll send me a job. This is the kind of thought process we have when we had a young man yesterday here, with those similar kinds of thoughts and questions. And he said, what is faith? I said, faith is faith. He said, no, how do you see faith in your culture? I said, faith is faith. Faith has no explanation. You have to have faith, have it or don't have it. End of story. And then he pranamed, and Larry had him for a long time. I don't know what Larry talked to him, but and I was hoping that Larry wouldn't hold him, because Larry had him cornered against the wall. The guy had no chance to get out. I said, Larry, you know, right? And he says, yeah, David has warned me. Because there are some people like the hamster, don't get anywhere, because they're doing all these things. And you know, years go by. I love it when I meet somebody and I see that they've progressed and they've moved on. And I acknowledge them and I tell them, so wonderful to see you and see that you have actually made progress. And they have a big smile. And then they realize, oh, thank you. Not waiting for the smile or the thank you, but just, it's so wonderful to see, you know, you do satsang, you do daily chanting, you do meditation, you do all this. So much conversation in the dining hall, my God. And you just wonder, where is that conversation going? What is it doing? Are you uplifted? Because the Gita says, Uddharet Atmanam Atmanam Navavasadhet. You are responsible for your own upliftment. You have to uplift yourself. Nobody else is going to do that for you. No Baba. No one. You have to, once he says, okay, put forth the effort. I have given you the grace. The grace has awakened. Say, okay, let's go. That's again what I want to share with you yesterday. Not, Baba, thank you, or Baba, wow, 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 wow. No. That trust, that faith, that shraddha to say, okay. And that's what I would love for each and every one of us to get it. This train, this life has so many parts. And that's how it is in our life. We are a part in this life on this train. And so, Guruji Maharaj, maybe I'll play it for you. There's a Swami of ours, Swami Ishwarananda, and he sang it for us at the Kumbh Mela, and he sang for us before too. And I'll just play so he feels happy that I have played him. And I'll say.
अरे तिकीट मिळे ना कोणाला ज्याची पूर्वजन्मीचे पुण्याई ज्याची पूर्वजन्मीचे पुण्याई हो 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 गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची धर्माभिमानी असावा देशाभिमानी असावा धर्माभिमानी असावा देशाभिमानी असावा भक्तिवान तो असावा नीतिवान तो असावा भक्तिवान तो असावा नीतिवान तो असावा हे तिकीट मिळेल या लोकांना हे तिकीट मिळेल या लोकांना गाडीत बसण्याची या हो गाडीत बसण्याची गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची भ्रष्टाचारी नसावा दुराचारी नसावा भ्रष्टाचारी नसावा दुराचारी नसावा सट्टेबाज तो नसावा फसवेबाज तो नसावा सट्टेबाज तो नसावा फसवेबाज तो नसावा हे तिकीट मिळेल या लोकांना हे तिकीट मिळेल या लोकांना गाडीत बसण्यासी हो हो गाडीत बसण्यासी गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची भक्तिवान तो ज्ञानेश्वर पराक्रमी तो शिवाजी भक्तिवान तो ज्ञानेश्वर पराक्रमी तो शिवाजी ज्ञानदेव तुकाराम ज्ञानदेव तुकाराम ज्ञानदेव तुकाराम या गाडीने शिट्टी दिली या गाडीने शिट्टी दिली खंजीर तुकड्याची वाजली खंजीर तुकड्याची वाजली गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची गाडी चालली चालली सद्गुरुरायाची हरिओम जय गुरुदेव.
So I sent Bhaskar a message and I said, hey, want this before 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I got it somewhere in the night, and here it is. So Guruji Maharaj was a very practical saint who lived in Maharashtra. Devyani sings his bhajan. Sabke liye khula hai mandir ye hamara. And in this, he says, this ticket is available to those who have punya, merit from past lives. The car or the train of the Sadguru is going. It's going. It's going. So have pride in the dharma. Have pride in the country that you are born or living in. Have devotion. Have right conduct. Then only will you get a ticket for this train. Then only will you be able to sit on this train. This train is going. Bhashtachar guy. Don't do wrong things. Don't be corrupt. Durachar. Don't all the things we should not do. I think simple as that. Huh? No vices, no gambling, no getting somebody trapped. There was something I talked about, but anyway, I won't get there. Only such people will get a ticket to sit in this train. This train is going. Jim, can you get this train going? Oh. Tukaram, Jnaneshwar, all of these, they are on the train. These are the great sages of Maharashtra. This train has, I don't know what it does here in the West, but in the Indian train, it blows a whistle. And Tukaraya Das says, I have played my tambourine is played, and the train is going, the train is going, the train is going. So, question is, do you want to get on the train? Don't say yes. I know that's going to be the answer. No. There's a lot that you have to do to get ready. Vedanta says you need viveka, you need vairagya, you need shat sampat. I won't even go to moksha. Viveka is discrimination, vairagya is dispassion, shat sampat is sama, dhamma, tirati, upakta, and all of these things. And so there's so much that you have to do. That's what he's saying, to even get on the train. So stop wasting. Only a few of you said that. So the rest of you want to waste time. Okay. Seriously. Because I want that when you go home today, the Upanishad says, how should we approach the path? As if your hair is on fire. I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody who blow dries. No. Huh? I don't know. I didn't have that problem. So, or don't have that problem. Didn't and don't. So anyway, this is life. When you look at the whole philosophy of karma, there is what is called sanchita. You want to write that word? Which is the past, right? And make it clear, none of your karma questions will be answered. Only more questions will be raised. Because the Gita is also very clear about this gahana karmano gatihi. There's lots of depth in the prarabdha is current. So there is prarabdha. So then what happens according to the philosophy of karma, what is collected from before gets allotted to you in this lifetime. So then in this lifetime, what is called prarabdha, which is present, you are working, you're doing your things, sometimes you get angry, one drop goes there, or you get upset. I don't know what happens with happiness. Does it carry forward? I wondered about that. Agami, A-double-A, chota. G-A-M-I. Double A again. Chalega. So, chalega. So this cycle goes on. Swami Tejomayananda, for those of you who remember him, my Vedanta teacher, said, let me see. So this is the paycheck. This is the checking account. This is the savings account. Savings, checking, paycheck. So you keep saving. So, from here, then it goes back to here when you die. It's called sanchita, collection. And so when you are born again, then some more comes here so that you can spend. And as you are spending, then it goes here. So this cycle just goes on. Okay, so how do I, clear this, all of this? So this finishes when I die. This is done. So I die one day, boom, finish. Then I have this, which then carries forward over to here. So Tukaram says, the only way to clear this is burn them, roast them. Then they will not bear fruit. Jnana agni sarvakarmanam bhasmasat kurute yatha. The 4th chapter of the Gita says, the fire of knowledge The fire of knowledge burns all this to ashes. So what is here in this life you have to live. You're going to go through. Bhagavan Nityananda had rheumatism. Baba Muktananda had heart conditions and diabetes. And so those are that which has been allotted into this lifetime. And then nothing goes here in their case. Because there's no doership. There's no, I am doing this. This comes from I. Think of how strong the I is, the attachment is to I did this. If I wasn't here, then. And imagine a little prick to that I, and it's like becomes defensive. Think of a globalized society. We should be in harmony, we should be in love, we should be should all be hunky-dory. Do you say that here in Australia, or is it Australian? Hunky-dory, huh? Okay. I get confused sometimes with my English, whether it's Australian or British or Indian or, Mother, you have to help. Yeah, I'll give it to you down there. So there was karma. There was a quick lesson on karma. One. Yeah. 2. And then 3. So on Madhu's train, he had brought some chips with, red lentil snacks, tomato basil. Because I told him, what all do you get on the train? And there's a juice that gave him the run. So he said, everybody should have this. 7 days, the system is clear. Is this the same one? Is this the same one? Same one. Any comments? You can see him, because I might be too descriptive. Huh? No, that's why I said talk to him afterwards. And then I guess he found this somewhere. Mind your own business. And I love this. Maybe I should keep it with me at all times. Actually, for all of you who like to wear T-shirts, Prabhal's brother started a new business. Because, I keep telling everybody, he's got California Old Navy. Now he paid $50, $100, and he's advertising, unknown to himself, Old Navy. And sometimes some stupid comments. Like in India, we buy these T-shirts that are made for export. They don't go for export, and we wear them. 1, 2, 3, and she's here. Marcy's looking for you, I think. Oh, okay. We have Kelly's daughter who's here too, with her daughter. So we have 3 generations here. And the boy and girl to be are coming. But they're typically always late. That's what Kelly told me. Never on time. So I don't know whether I should blame it on the boy, or should blame it on the girl, or blame it on the baby to be. Who is to blame? I don't know. I mean, it's so confusing. And then you have to say the right thing too. Oh, hi, it's so nice to see you. You're 2 hours late. Oh, and the best answer everybody has, can you believe it was pouring rain, and there was traffic, and I was stuck? Why doesn't that happen to Swami Nityananda? He gets where he has to on time, most of the time. Because you look on this thing called Google, Apple, whatever it is that you look at Waze, and find, there is traffic, so I need to find an alternate way, it's just all this, again, same thing. Swami Shankarananda says a great thing. You're on your way to satsang, you have a flat tire, a puncture. And you're like, oh my God, does Baba not want me to come to satsang today? So you spend half an hour trying to connect to Baba. Do you want me or not want me? Do you want me or do you not want me? And he said, imagine Baba is on his way to satsang. He has a flat tire. What does he do? He gets out, or his driver gets out, gets the spare out, gets the jack out, changes the tire, puts the tire on, and off they go. Because they want to be there for satsang. And we are Which one of these things this Baba trying to tell me? Channel. Madhu, do you channel? Who do I call on my phone to ask them, did Jackie save me my seat? Is my seat there? I mean, it's like such. Anyway, let's have some chips. And then he has Swedish fish. What is it? Crackers? Gums. Okay. And Jim Lodis wanted to know what we're going to build, because Madhu said for the big problem, we have a big screwdriver. For the small problem, we have a small screwdriver. and then we have a Phillips too. So depending on your problem, in your quarter pin, in your screw, in your wherever it is, you need the right tool. And this is sadhana again. Sadhana is finding the right tool to fix the problem. And so there's so many choices. Some people who don't know that there is a Phillips, or what they call it, 4, they use this, and they're like, and all they do is ruin the head of the screw. Yeah. And then it's like, I don't know what happened. I think I'll put away things that I'm done with. You have to use this thing. This is wonderful. It's good in life too. I go to so many homes, the door's squeaking, Devyani laughs at me, because then I do it myself, or somebody with me, I tell them, just get a little bit of oil, a little cloth, because this is not always there in many people's homes, and that's all you need on the hinges. And they say, I always meant to do that. Juan Carlos has been sitting on a chair and making a lot of noise. He blamed the chair. I said, Juan Carlos, it could be you. I don't know what we're going to do with these. Oh, untie the knot. Okay.
Not so easy.
Not so easy. I know, I can see that. So this is untied. But this is what happens to life, All of you own mobiles and computers. Learn to fold your cables. That's also a good thing to do. And do it the right way. And it lasts the whole time. Nothing happens to it. It's only because you're always in a rush, because you're procrastinating, not taking action in time and all of that. So then this happens. And then you wait and wait and wait. And one day there's a problem and you can't untie it, like Madhu said. And then he has, what is this for? Eraser.
Different grades of that.
Oh, yeah, I know, I saw that. Yeah, there's sandpaper. I had just told him to go through the utility rooms and find different things. And I said, whatever inspiration I get, I'll speak. So he's brought them. And so here they are. This is all karma at the end of the day. How you rub somebody, this, we found out from Fernando, 40 number is the smallest number. The roughest, I think he said, maybe 30, but he said 40. And it goes up to, I think, 400, 600, something, the smoother, So you have to decide where you want to be in life, how much you want to rub your whoever it is, And the sages would tell you, look at it minutely. I think I don't know what his idea was. But anyway, and there's a light too, but it's not working. The battery is gone. These are good things. Keep one. They help in many different ways for many different things. I have all these things. And I used to travel with them. Swiss Army knife was my best friend for a long time, until 9/11. And then he said, what are you doing with that? And I had the biggest one possible with all the tools, just for fun. It was a good conversation piece. What do you do with idiots? So but you have to bring these things out and then say, okay, let's have a conversation. Here's a knife, here's a screwdriver, here's a toothpick, here's a tweezer, here's this, here's that. And they're like, wow, all of that in this? And then you got to find a way to get them here, from the Swiss Army knife to here. And this is how I've gotten good at all this. 40 years, that's a big nail, mother. This you need sometimes when you got to, Don't forget to take your medication. Look at what all you find in the utility room. Now, if we take this according to our sadhana, here Shanti Mandir, we do the Guru Gita, we do the Rudram, we do the Devi Stotra, we do the Vishnu Sahasranam, we do the Guru Gita, we do the Lalita. Saturdays here in Walden we meditate, otherwise in Magod we do the Vishnu Sahasranam. And every evening we do the Arati and the Shiva Mahima. Do it. What happens, I don't know. But what really happens, if, this, you think of it like the washcloth. This I brought, he didn't bring. I didn't know what I would do, but now I got it. This is a washcloth. You can wipe your face, you can blow your nose, but you can wet and wash all of the stench, the stink, the dirt. And that's what the arati, the meditation, all of the practices, the sadhana that we do, that's what it does. And this he showed me yesterday, and I forgot, I was going to look up. In our Vedanta class, we have the chain of ignorance. And I think it has 7, I forget. I didn't have time. We had nothing else to do yesterday, if you remember. We were here at 6 a.m., we had breakfast at 9 a.m., we had the puja at 10 a.m. I didn't leave the building till like 3 something. And then we had vada and chai. And then we were back here at 5 o'clock. And I think it was 9 p.m. when I got back to my room. And then Kelly was there. It's like, I'm waiting for you to. I'm like, I'm waiting, yes, but I have so much going on in my life, And so I sat there for a few minutes and I said, okay, I got to go. I got to wash, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to just get myself ready for tomorrow, which is now. And I got to, keep these thoughts. And I left Madhu and Dana with this table. And when they asked me, is it set up? I said, I have no idea. I said, I placed these things. And then I told them, just put all the things and I'll figure out tomorrow what I want to do. Because it's not really me. It's Baba. So look up, I think it's the chain of ignorance, right? In Vedanta, something. It's there. So all of these things will be here. You can come, look, and we have plenty of teachers, plenty of people who would love to explain, Don't forget, this you really want. This you want here, this you want here, and we won't go here. Oh, God. Okay. Huh?
You don't want to take that with you on the train.
No, there's a bathroom. Okay. So maybe give the big bottles first, I think, right? So this is Sattva Guna. We move on now. In life, there is Sattva, and forget the past that is done with karma. That is Sattva, and this is, the train moved. Rajas, and this is Tamas. So I'm sure most of you who are educated understand all this. This is purity, this is activity, this is inertia. And then, there's a whole process, that you come into life. And Baba Muktananda stressed a lot about company. If you remember, Sangha is about company. Whose company do you keep? So we all come into life, Sometimes we have, Swami Tejomayananda taught us that to meet the Guru, you had to be like this, 50% good karma, 50%, or 51-49, he said was okay too. That many sesame seeds you had to have. So imagine how much, these are beans, so they're a little bit big. That much good karma you have to accumulate to get somewhere. So we come into life. Now, depending on the company we keep, we can either increase the sattva in our life, the purity in our life, or we can decrease the sattva. Sattva is actually gone. What we are left is either with a lot of activity and darkness, or we are left with a lot of darkness and some activity and maybe 3 things of sattva. There is a smaller glass, Mother, remember? For some white. Where is it? Oh, the white is up here. Are you getting it? Because you have to get it. Because if you don't get it, then I'll start again. And I've already been at it for an hour. So, because I don't want you to get it now. I want you to get it when I see you in action. And don't ask me how. I have my ways. And I don't use any devices. We don't have any cameras here. Your action, what is it? Actions speak louder than words. They resonate. So try and, this is where you want to actually get to. With maybe a little sprinkling of rajas and tamas. Eventually, of course, we want to get rid of all that and just become this. And don't forget, you have all this. What is that? And so that mixed with that, and that mixed with family and friends, and you can look up quintuplication, panchikarana in Vedanta. It's a big complex process. And that's with elements, the 5 elements. So this. And company is a big thing. Like, for example, the best thing that's happened to us in our time is internet. That has changed life. And now AI is going to change us more. But it has its, as Govind Bhai knows very well, its own downfall. He's not able to separate himself from his mobile, from his airport. He doesn't even realize that. So many of us don't even realize that this thing is driving me nuts. It's keeping me away from the temple. It's keeping me away from talking, having conversations. It's keeping me away from the work that I'm doing, that I'm supposed to do. It's a good thing. I don't say it's wrong. I have all 3 of them. I have the phone, I have the iPad, I have the laptop. And somebody said, what do you do? I said, I do 3 things at one time. On the phone I can talk, on the iPad I can message, and the computer I can work. He said, all 3 things? I said, yeah, they're 3 unrelated things. I just have to make sure that I don't do the wrong thing in the wrong place. That's all.
A tool.
Huh?
It's a tool.
Thank you. So, think to yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I want? What, when I leave this world, because yours are not going to be roasted yet. So how do I get to that point, at least where there's more of this and less of this and less of this? How can, and this is not going to happen with lotion or loofah or panchakarma or any of these things. This has to come from inside. It has to be a burning desire within yourself. You want. Not because anybody else wants, not because somebody else saying, not because the course was so good or the intensive was so good or the other. None of that matters. That's just a vehicle, a way, a means to propel you forward, to impel you forward, to make you realize that I need to move. Anywhere, anytime you realize or it dawns upon you that I am stuck, then you got to take a step forward. Then you got to take another step forward. Then you got to take another step forward. And you just got to keep moving. Nobody's going to tell you that you are stuck. Because the biggest problem we have in our time today is how to tell the truth. Because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I have this problem myself. Because you tell them something and they have an immediate reply to you. Why? And that's again what I wish to share yesterday. Was the universe has given you a command. Go with it. Don't allow the small brain of yours, the small mind of yours, the small, psychic instrument, I think it's called. Just go. Somewhere I had written, I don't know, it's here. Oh. Be like the ocean. I don't know, somewhere. Be like the ocean. Be vast like the ocean. And just, wow. It's amazing. The scripture tells us all this is just zero. There's actually no value to it. And there is only value when you know, who am I? Then all of this has value. Until then, in my understanding, you're just a hamster just going round and round and round and round and getting nowhere. So think to yourself, ask lots of questions to yourself, not to anybody else. Don't think that's just conversation, that's just talk. Sit. That's why Vedanta is very clear. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Listen with attention. Contemplate. Ask yourself some questions. You should be moved. You should have goosebumps. A word I love, which Vasudha says she's never heard before, horripilation. The hair standing. That's how much excitement you should have to do your sadhana, to do your chant, to do your meditation, to do your study. Not because, there's an exam coming up, there's a test coming up. No, in life, there's daily tests coming up. If you don't stay on the track, this is what will happen. You'll fall off. And oftentimes, if the whole bogey falls, it's not just you who's fallen off, but so many others that you've taken along with you. And it's so easy. One person stops coming to satsang and all his accomplices stop coming to satsang. Why? They have a problem. You can still be on the train. You can still continue on your journey. We've been here now, it will be 25 years in Walden this September. Devyani has chosen a weekend, one of the first weekends of Navratra, 26, something like that, to celebrate it as a weekend. And the Navratra will continue, Navratra will go on, and it will be there. And somewhere in there, Navratra, there'll be a weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday, or Sunday, however it works out. She wants that all of the various people who have been associated with us over the years come. Whether it's from the bank, whether it's from the post office, whether it's from the town, whether it's from the lawyer's office, whether it's from the blah, 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 blah. She knows them more than I do. But I know them. She says, this is Larry, this is Jack, this is Tom, this is, Kelly, this is, it's like, oh, okay, hi, nice to meet you. And they only know me as the man in orange who comes and goes. She took me to the bank the other day. She goes, oh, nice to see you again. I said, yeah, nice to see you too. I didn't see you before, but nice to see you again. But I'm sure have seen me, therefore she asked for you. So I'm like, okay, nice. Because as we went that day, it was wonderful. 3 places we went. A lady went, nice to see a man in color. And I looked at myself and said, okay. And one lady came, oh my God, the guru is here. And she called somebody else up. And she's like, what's this lady saying? And then she comes up, she goes, oh, Devyani, Gurudev, oh my God. What are you doing here? Devyani said, oh, this is a new place. I wanted him to have coffee here. I go, okay. And where else? We went somewhere else. She took me to 3-4 places that day. Because sometimes she says, come with me. I'm like, okay, I have nothing else to do. Come with you. So go along. It's fun. I mean, I call it, what do I call it? Going to the supermarket, grocery market? Therapy. It's very therapeutic. Because you meet people, and you see what's new in the market, what's going on, and what's the thinking process, what's going on, I won't go with you, don't even ask me to come, okay? I know who I want to go with, so I'm clear of all that. I don't have any of these problems. And it's just wonderful. Yeah, we can sit here and order it, and it will come and it will be delivered. No, but there's a little story in India, and a boy goes from America, he tells his dad, he says, Dad, you still go to your fruit vendor, you still go to the bank, and you still go to this. And he said, do you know what? One day your mom fell ill, and I couldn't go out. He said, so all those people I go to, one of them said, oh my God, Mr. So-and-so has not come today. So he said, he came with the fruit I buy every day and said, Mister, you didn't come today. He said, yeah, my wife is sick. He said, would your online service know that today I have not ordered some websites do. But they would not actually come and say, Mr. So-and-so, here's your bananas, or here's your oranges, here's your apple. And then it's like, okay, your wife has a problem. How can I help you? What can I do for you? What would you like me? Who would I like? Who should I call? Where would you like? That's what this is. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The interconnectedness. And we want that. We need that. We must have that. And so to eliminate depression, to eliminate suicide, to eliminate all of these things that we have today. I mean, look at the amount of talking you have done in the last 2-3 weeks that you've been here. It's been nonstop, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I don't know anything else in between. On your walks, in your rooms. And that's just in person. I don't know what you've done on your devices. And as Devyani often tells me, Gurudev, remember, some of these people live alone inside their own apartment looking at themselves. So when they come here, it's like, oh my God, I got 50 people to bash, or nosh, or to talk to, yes, to connect. Because otherwise I'm at home every day thinking, oh my God. And some people will tell me, I love it. That's my own problem. So, Mother, what did we have in the back? There's another page. We took we took care of this. Forgot. Sorry. Thank you. This Madhu's notes. I'll read it out to you. Gunas is a Sanskrit word which translates as quality, peculiarity, attribute, tendency. Sattva, the white, represents purity, balance, harmony, knowledge, enlightenment. Rajas represent activity, passion, energy, movement, dynamism. That's the red. Tamas, the black, represents inertia, darkness, ignorance, attachment, and stagnation. And it's wonderful when somebody tells me, I was going to a dark place. I was going to a dark place. It means they got, and they realized I should get out of here and move myself here, and move myself here. Because that's, as we all know, a very sad place to be in. We've all been there. The mind goes there. Fall is easy. To climb up is a lot of effort. And we need those pillars, those friends, those people who just call us at the right time and say, yeah. I've shared with you a story of a young boy who tells his father, the teacher has given us homework. Got to hug 10 people to say something, like God loves you, and give them a hug. So father's like, come on, it's Sunday, man. It's like, the child in a hochilula. It's like, gotta go. It's homework, teacher wants. I have to. So they go to the mall. The child is able to do it to 9 people. They're driving back home. The child is like, I got to find the 10th one. He says, stop here, Dad. Let's go to this house. So they go to that house. The child knocks on the door. There's an elderly lady all by herself. He says, God loves you. Ma'am, I want to give you a big hug. Whatever his words were, whatever his line was. And then they're both talking in there. It's been a while. The father gets worried. The boy went to give a hug. Where is he? So he comes in. His father. He sees the boy and the lady talking. And his lady says, "Oh, this boy saved my life." She says, "My husband died. I went to this dark place. I was in depression. I was going to commit suicide today. I was all prepared, ready." And then he comes in, he says, "God loves you," gives me a hug. All of a sudden, now I have purpose. Now I'm like here. I got to live now. I can't do what I was going to do. Now, when you think again of this interconnectedness, this story is so amazing. What made the boy? What within the boy? He didn't do any of this, the first page. There was no procrastination. No, the father also was good enough. The boy said, "Let's stop here." He stopped there. Saved a life. And there's so much any of us can do. We have limited time. We think we are living longer, yes, but we are living longer, but doing what? Ask ourselves. We cannot tell ourselves that I can't do anything. Yes, we can do something. What is it that we can do? You got to find out for yourself. Somebody likes tea, somebody likes coffee, somebody likes black tea, somebody likes black coffee, somebody likes coffee with sugar, somebody likes coffee with sugar and milk. Somebody likes herbal tea with honey, somebody without honey. I mean, there's like so many variations. And you also be clear. I tell people this. When you go to somebody's home and they say, "What do you want?" Don't say anything or anything, whatever. Ask them, "What do you have?" Or give them, "This is what I would like." They might say, "Yes, I have it." They might say, "I might not have it." Whatever does not exist. Because this is happening all the time. This is at play. Karma. It's constant. It's moving. I love a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Wait, what's on the next page? Blank. Oh, that's good. Thank God. भाग्योदयेन बहुजन्म समर्चितेन सत्संगम च लभते पुरुषो यदा वै अज्ञान हेतु कृत मोह मदांधकार नाशम विदाये तद उदयते विवेकः. A wonderful explanation here by the sage. Bahujanma samarchitena bhagyudayena. Over lifetimes, you've been through this. Lifetimes. Everybody wake up, those of you who are sleeping. I have 30 more minutes. So, lifetimes. He says, Bhagyodayena Bahujanma Samarchita. Over lifetimes, I have collected this goodness. I've eliminated this. Satsangam chalabhate purusha yadavi. I've been able to go to satsang. Imagine yesterday, as I said, at 6 o'clock we walk in and everybody's here, seated, ready. And Prabhupada's already begun. And he's like, now, kavach, devya kavacham. And people would have smiled, okay. And then when it was like 10, 11, 12, 13, oh God, we made it. It's like, felt so good. So, satsanga, countless lifetimes. Viveka. He says, tadudayata vivekaha. Then viveka, after so many lifetimes, is awakened. Discrimination, the power of discernment, is awake. We stop talking nonsense. We stop doodling in nonsense. We stop wasting time. We stop, what was all that here? So if you don't take anything home, take this home. Get up, start moving. Stop procrastination. Don't waste time. Become proactive. Don't be frozen in terror. Don't be like a deer in the headlights. Don't be anxious. Don't be apprehensive. Break, change conditioning. And if you have not already Yoga Vasishtha, find it. It's tough. It's not easy. Or Yoga Vasishtha, Conditioning is a different matter. So, countless lifetimes, satsanga. What happens? It says, ajnana hetu krita moha madhandakara. The moha, the delusion, the darkness of ignorance, gone. Can you imagine what it must be like? Imagine those of us who come to satsang and we meet somebody and they're like, what do you do? And it's like you think, okay, where should I begin? Pani? You think you should know where to begin. And you ask yourself a question. So you close your eyes. So I remember the story a couple of days ago, Baba used to say. Baba called the character something, but we've changed it to Vichitra. For those of you who've received our book, if not, then you can get from Devyani through email. It's called Guiding Light. We prepared it at Diwali time and we've been sending it, and I think there's a Spanish version on the way. So a person is walking, and he wants to know, how much further to walk. He's standing there. And Vichitra means strange, etc., etc. Doesn't answer. After 3 times, the person starts walking. And he says, 10 minutes! I don't know if that's how long it takes to walk, but I think on the real trail it takes us about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. The person turns around, he goes, I asked you 3 times. You didn't answer. He says, when you asked the question, you were standing. When you started walking, I saw your pace and I knew how long it would take you. So Baba would say, that's how sadhana is. You got to put forth the effort. You got to keep walking, you got to keep moving. And as you keep walking, as you keep moving, then all of these, answers will come. In the 12th chapter of the Chandipat, it's about 6 verses. In those, we have a new book, and the person has done a wonderful job. He says, hearing those deeds of mine, humans suffer no more from the fear caused by enemies. Eulogies that have been offered by all of you, the sages and Brahma, bestow felicitous intellect. A person who recalls these deeds of mine in the forest, on the deserted path, caught in forest fires, surrounded by robbers in a secluded place, captured by enemies, followed by tigers, lions, wild elephants in the wilderness, arrested or sent to the gallows under the order of an angry king like we experience now, tossed about in a boat by a tempest on the high seas, struck by weapons in the intensely hard battle, tormented by severe pain, just by chanting shall attain to freedom from all types of crises. Now, what is the lion? What is the tiger? What is the beast? What is the enemies? What is the king? What is tossed about in the boat? These are all, this is what this and this creates. So many times I meet people, they say, somebody else hit me from the back. What were you doing? Caught napping. Ask yourself, really, what were you doing? Where was your attention? Where was your focus? What were you looking at? What were you thinking? Where were you? And so then, of course, when we look at this whole karma, all of this plays up. But you have a choice. Devyani loves Umesh because once he became free of Chitra meaning she died, he made a decision. Moved to the ashram. Now he's my shadow. Sometimes in front of me, sometimes behind me. Sometimes he gets walden before me, sometimes he gets walden after me. Sometimes he gets magod before me, sometimes he gets magod after me. It depends on where the sun is, and that's how the shadow falls. Sometimes in front, sometimes in the back. And she loves his enthusiasm. He's always excited. He's always got somebody coming for satsang. Even his financial planner, he makes him come, takes him to the noon aarti, pram. And the financial planner says, okay, sir, I have your business, I'll do what you say. Has lunch here at the ashram. So what can I do? Instead of being afraid, instead of being caught with fear, say, let's go. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is my world. Have a look. Have a peek. An hour, 2 hours later, you'll get in your car and you'll go away. You're going to thank God I got out of there safe. But you're not really safe, because somewhere along the way, the Shakti has got you. In some form or another. Because one day he called me, he says, he has, I think, 3 different ones. He said, one of them wants to meet you. I said, me? He goes, yeah, he has a question for you. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I said, okay. So then he brought him, and we had a little conversation. He had some life crises. He must have told him, talk to that man in orange. Ask his opinion, ask his thought. So for any one of us that thinks, who am I? What can I do? What is my purpose? Your whole life will be done, and they'll be carrying you to the grave, and you're still looking for your purpose. Yes. Find your purpose. Find your motivation. Find what drives you. And don't be wishy-washy about it. I mean, they may have these conversations. Some people do all these such silly and funny things. And it's like, why? None of it is necessary. And about 3 days ago, I had a question. I sent it to Bhaskar, and I said, okay, how many forms of the Devi there are? So he wrote back 11. Mahamaya, Durga, Kaushiki, Ambika, Kali, Chamunda, Brahmani, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Narasimhi, Aindri, and Shivaduti. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, now he's given the explanation of all of them. I said, okay, how many demons? Now look at this. Devi 11 forms, demons only 8. Madhu, Kaitava, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Rakta, Bija, Shumba, Nishumba. So I said, okay, what do these represent? He said, they are negativity. I said, no, there's more there. So he wrote back. He says, okay, Madhu Kaitava represents ignorance and delusion, born from tamas, inertia. Ignorance, delusion, avidya, born from tamas. Mahishasura is a big buffalo. Ego, pride, brute force. You know how some of us get sometimes, I gotta get this done my way. It's not going the way I want, so I'm gonna be the brute force. Dhumralochana. Clouded perception, distorted vision, because I'm waiting for that connection with Baba. And that, we're like, you get out of my way. I gotta, it's like, anyway. Chandamunda, destructive thoughts, mental fragmentation. And it's amazing, I meet so many people, and they are like guiding others. They are telling others what to do. And I meet them, and there's so much fragmentation in their mind. I'm like, how do you guide people when you don't know yourself? So what guidance are you giving them when you don't even know what car I should buy? When you don't even know what flat or apartment I should live in? You don't even know what state I should live in, what country I should live in. And you're telling people, okay, let me connect and give you the guidance. So why don't you use that for yourself? I have many thoughts, but I got to keep moving. Where were we? Rakta Bija. I think it's in the 6th chapter. It's a drop of blood. Becomes many drops of blood. He said uncontrolled desires, habits, proliferative thoughts, which is what I think it is. They just never go away. Sitting there, om, and I just did one, but there's like 1,000 of them shooting at one time, And you're like, meditate. I've been here since 5 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. And we think, Baba said, sit for 3 hours and you'll have realization. And you're like, 3 hours. My knees are hurting, my bum is hurting, my back is hurting. I have all the cushions and all the asanas and everything that's available in this place. And I've gotten nowhere. But you forgot that you had this before you came to the meditation in whatever form this is. So basically, for whoever thinks of himself or herself as a meditator, this is a demo. Devani knows this story well. This is a Madhu's idea. I think he just found it. So you got to work at it all the time. You can't just think, okay, I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to go and I'm going to sit and it's boom, magic's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. Magic is effort that you have to put forth. Sadhana, you got to start moving. You got to keep moving. For all of you who remember, there's a child who gets angry, or a wife who gets angry, or a husband who gets angry, whoever gets angry. So one day, whoever it is tells them, go out into the barn or into the wooden fence post every time you get angry. Oh, that's what a hammer was for that. We have a hammer, or is it? There was a hammer, right? I think you put it on your side. We have screwdriver now. We didn't have a hammer? I thought we had it, huh? Oh my God. We have a drum hammer. Anyway, they say, go, and Prabal has the hammer now. So go out and hammer a nail every time that you get angry. So these are just a few nails. So it's a month-long exercise. At the end of the month, she, whoever it is, goes out and goes, wow, that's a lot of nails. You mean I get angry that many times? That many times I'm fragmented? That many times I'm deluded? That many times I'm in tamas and rajas and tamas? That many times? I thought I was such a good soul. Everybody told me, you're so sweet. And that's what I said earlier when I said, be careful where you show your affection. When you go, baby, I love you so much. But baby, whoever the baby is, boy, girl, chota, big, small, whatever, there's this. And this could be anything. I'm using just anger because that's what's in our story. This could be so many things. So what do I do? So the person says, okay, for every day that you don't get angry, you go and pull a nail out. For every day, every week, whatever, however you want to set it up, pull a nail out. So they pull the nail out, and then what happens? And then one day they go, guess what? All the nails are out. So wonderful. All the nails are out. So the father says to the son, let's look at it closely. So many holes. So many humans, so many people, so many things with so many holes. Now what do we do with that? So when you think of this, Sanchita, Prarabdha, Agami, this cycle just continues through this process. And whatever you want to call this, the tongue. The other day, when we talked about that verse, Kalachanakatam va, Kayajam, Karmajam va, Shravana Nayana, that. So, through my mind, through my speech, through my body, so many things that have been gifted to me by the Divine, by the Almighty. I can use it in such a wise way because we are interconnected. To uplift, to bring up, elevate. But instead, we go here to a dark place. Because we don't know. And I'm grateful, and I remind this again and again to myself, and I remind you also. I'm here because of people who have played a pivotal role at different times, who've been there. It may not have made sense. I remember the time I got angry at Swami Brahmananji Maharaj. But yet, his love, his continued effort. He just smiled and he said, okay, it doesn't matter. This is where he is. He's here now. We've got to move him here. Who it is, what role they play in your life. But hold them. Devyani and I laugh sometimes. Here we are, she says 40 years, I say 38 years. She says, but I knew you before. I said, okay, you knew me before. I got to know you later. But I said, the fact is we are still here. That's important. All of us are still here. That's what Durga's mother was excited about yesterday. So many years later, met Baba. My kids are good. They've done well. And that's what we want to feel. We want to feel good. We want to feel good that we have done well. That we have elevated, that we have, done something wonderful. We are blessed. And what do I do with that blessing? There's a story in the Puranas of a demon named Bhasmasura. He gets a blessing from Shiva. Anything he places his hand on, boom, ashes. So he tells Shiva, okay, let me put it on you. Shiva's like, oh my God, I blessed you. And then Shiva starts running to Vishnu. He says, we have this problem. I gave this guy this blessing. And now he wants to do it on me. And Vishnu becomes a beautiful, bewitching woman, Mohini. And so when that demon comes, he's like, marry me. And she says, sure, I will marry you. But first, let's dance. I'll dance, you dance. I'll dance, you dance. So they dance. Now, how long the dance goes on is anybody's imagination. But somewhere in the dance, Mohini does this. Bhasmasura does this. And he becomes ashes. So we destroy ourselves. The Gita says, Atmaiva yatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. I am my own friend, I am my own enemy. I am my own friend, I am my own enemy. So decide what you want to be for yourself, who you want to be for yourself. So do something. So I think I should stop. Because I will run out of steam now. I'm hot. Mostly I think I've covered everything. There's all these things. It's all these thoughts. Of course, I think we should be on YouTube, so you can always go back home, put the headphones on, and say, oh God, he really said that. Yeah, he did. It must be to somebody else, not to me. And that's the best way we all get out. We say, no, I'm a very pious, loving, kind person. Kick him in the butt, That's what I would do. Anyway, I better not go there. So, I'm 15 minutes before time because I didn't complete my 2 hours, or maybe 20. But I want to take this moment to just actually offer my appreciation and gratitude to each and every one of you who are part and parcel of this, because that's what inspires us. That's what whoever we are, whatever we are, what we do. Just imagine that here we are, Baba Bhaktivinoda left his body in October 1982. So it's almost 43 years this October. So for 43 years, we've continued on with satsang. We've continued on the path. We've continued on all of this, understanding, thinking, processing. I was telling Mary yesterday, it's not necessary that we understand any of this. But at least the effort to understand. There's an illumination. In a dark room, even a small lamp is so bright. In a dark room, even a small lamp is so bright. So we can just think that we are that small lamp in that dark room. And then so many of us, it's like the lights we have on the trees outside. It's like lit up. Because there's, this interconnectedness. So I leave you with this thought, which I often tell myself. Firstly, I'm not the only one. Any one of us. So if we begin all the way on the eastern part of the planet, when the sun arises there, and as the sun travels the earth, or the earth travels the sun, there's so many of us, each one waking up, going through our day, going through the cycle of karma, going through the cycle of gunas, going through the cycle of coffee, of orange juice, of tea, of whatever it is that we do. And then, as we end, as we go to sleep, those thoughts, those emotions, those feelings, they stay with us. And it's been wonderful. These past 3 weekends, I would say, we've had the intensive. Then the first weekend of Navaratra, and then today. And just to wake up excited each day. To think the train is going. Chalali ve chalali, Sadguru Ayaji. The Sadguru's train is going. And we have Swedish fish. We have red lentil snacks. We have the juice. Did you eat anything else along the way? Huh? He ate it already. And so, huh?
Nuts.
Nuts. He's nuts or you are nuts? And it's so wonderful. I mean, here they are, and some others. Almost 40 years, I think. I think they've, 50. Oh my God. Pretty good. That's almost as long as I've lived. So when I think of these people, I'm like, oh my God, you've lived with each other that long. So it's like, wow. And it's so wonderful. And you think, what keeps us going? What propels us? What, makes us, wow, yet another exciting day to look forward. And they're the first ones in the temple every morning, the first ones to yoga, the first ones to bed also. But it's just so wonderful, you look 80, 90, and there's this enthusiasm, there's this excitement, Wow. Baba used to love sharing from Jnaneshwara, Atma Prabha he Nityananda. The effulgence of the Atman, the rays of the Atman, the whatever you want to call it of the Atman, is brand new every single day. It's new. It's yet another beautiful day. So for the moment that you wake up each morning, be grateful. Because it's a possibility. And that possibility exists every single moment. So the possibility that you've woken up. So get excited about what is it. So when you live here in Shanti Mandir, you might think, got to go to the temple. Excited. Yes. And then change up your seat a little bit. That makes a big difference because somebody who comes and goes, that's where I usually sit. And then I ask such people, is there more Shakti here or something? Does Baba kind of look here or something? Because it's just so funny that stuck up. That person needs that, Move, shift, change. That's so wonderful. It's so exciting. So, heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Wherever you are, here in person, online, and however it is. But sometimes I think in my mind, as I'm lying in bed, some different people, I called an elderly lady yesterday, and she said, oh, thank you for calling. When did you come? I said, I've been here 2-3 weeks. She said, I didn't know. I said, I know you didn't know, that's why I called you. She said, I'm not keeping well. She's 80 plus. And she said, are you happy with me? I said, that's why I'm calling you. And she's like, okay. Say, okay. She said, keep in touch. I said, yes, I will. And it's just, I was couple of days ago, I told Devya, I'm remembering her. So Devya said, yeah, just give her a call. So I called her. Because she would be the one normally who calls here, leaves a message, and and so it's like, oh. Then I did realize, okay, the husband has passed, time has moved on, and I'm sure she's, the other person is not there to remind, okay, Swamiji is here, and let's call and talk and connect. And I was like, wow. And just, you feel that, and you think that. And I suggest this to each and every one of you. Sometimes just go through your contacts and just call up and say, hi, how are you doing? But make sure they're in the right time zone, okay? Because that's also important. Don't call them when they're sleeping in the middle of the night. I did that once. And the person called me the next morning and says, I had a dream last night. I said, I know. I said, I goofed up a little bit on my calculation. This was before the mobile phone and the world clock. I said, I know it was 3 a.m. in the morning. I said, we were on daylight savings here. And I was like, and he said, okay, I just thought I'd call you when I wake up. I said, thank you very much. So, happens. But, like I called somebody once and they're like, okay, what do you want? I said, nothing. They said, no, come on, let's be honest. Just tell me. Otherwise, why would you call? I said, because I have nothing else to do. And I thought of you. And it doesn't mean that you have to then have a 90-minute or 2-hour conversation. Don't do that. Because that person might have a plan. And they don't know now how to hang up on you because you've called them. Just say, it's wonderful. We connected. I send my, whatever, and catch up. So same here. Wonderful. Thank you. We'll catch up somewhere along the way. Zivyani loves to say, I'm back here on the 22nd of August, right? Mark your calendars. And, well, she'll tell you all that. So I don't want to take her words away. So what happened to Jack and Megan? It's not. It's only 12:30. 2.5 hours later. This is what's happening to all the young people. Time. Mother was going to bring a clock. What happened? You forgot. Because we had talked about time. Time. You got to use time. You got to use time wisely. And actually, there's a poem by a saint named Bole Baba. Ghadi bolta hai. And the clock is ticking, the clock is speaking, the clock is telling you, I'm going. It's like same like the train. It's going, get on it. Okay, thank you. Good night. No.